And I've also had those people in my comments too saying that they do like SBMM. It works for them for the amount of time they play it. In my opinion, I think it's just like giving a participation trophy out. I think it's BS. YouTube. Well, guys, I think they might be finally listening, but I also see a problem with that. We'll talk about it later in the video. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, even become a YouTube member if you want to help support the channel any further. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Alright, so skill-based matchmaking is one of the worst things, in my opinion, to ever enter Call of Duty. Now, whereas I also do understand why they have it, it makes sense, guys. It really does make sense, and it's going to make Activision the most money, which is why it makes the most sense. At least I think so, but I really, really do not like it. Another thing SBMM will do is it basically tries to get everyone around the same KD, but it doesn't go off your ping, and I don't know why they throw these things out here where they lie to us and lie to the community, but they say, you know, for a while they weren't even responding to what SBMM, if there was SBMM in the game, because everyone was calling it out. And then they finally came out with a post saying that it's strictly off of your ping, and then it goes over, like, you know, the skill base, which everybody knew was false. I mean, even when I play with my friends on the opposite coast of me, either one of us, depending on who has host, if I have host, I have good latency, they have terrible latency. Now, if they're host, I have close to probably 60 to 80 something latency, and they have better latency. And that's because it goes off of the skill level first and then your ping. So realistically, it's going off of that, giving you like probably the worst servers you can get, as long as it keeps the high leveled skilled players all in like one area basically. And then it protects the players that are not that good, because the people that are good enough to get kills every match and everything, even though, you know, they have to sweat really hard, they're still going to be able to do it. Plus, it also goes off of like your time on the game and everything. It has everything in the database, so it knows your patterns on if you're going to stay on the game or not. And the people that do play this game every day for a long time, it's going to make sure it stays in those higher skilled lobbies because they know you're not going to get off the game. And then the players that aren't that good or casual players, they get players that are just like them, easy kills, and they stay in that bracket basically. And I've also had those people in my comments too saying that they do like SBMM. It works for them for the amount of time they play it. In my opinion, I think it's just like giving a participation trophy out. I think it's BS. I think it should go off the ping. The good old days of COD where it was just random. It was just random, and if you want to be a good player, you would play some good players every now and then. And people say it in videos now too. They're like, what you would do is you would send that guy a friend request, and that's typically it. You would want to be on his friends list and play with them. It was the same with like even zombies. Like if you met someone that was good at zombies, you could tell, and you wanted to play with them more, so you'd want to team up, and then you learn and get better, just like sports or anything else in life. But Call of Duty wants to protect those people and cater to everybody, and you just cannot do that. So in the beta, they had that mode that was called like Open Mosh Pit, and then unfortunately I missed the Open Search and Destroy, which I was mostly like excited for about. I love some good Search and Destroy, especially classic Search and Destroy, what I used to play back in the day. COD 4 Search and Destroy was the most fun I ever had, and I was super excited to play it, but unfortunately they were mixing playlists and taking it off and then putting it back on. I'm not sure why. They said they're gonna collect data on it, but if you only do it and don't tell anyone for like 24 hours, you're not really getting anything. If anything, it's inaccurate data in my opinion. But I can tell you what, playing the Open Mosh Pit, it instantly felt like the good old days of COD. The lobbies were exactly how they used to be. There were just, you could tell the different levels skilled players. Like, it was so apparent, so obvious. You would even get crappy ones on your team and be facing some demons, and you'd have to, you know, one-man army, do it yourself. It was so fun, and it almost just brought back like nostalgic feeling, honestly. And here's another thing I noticed right away is I was able to queue in a game just like that. It was super quick, and my ping was great. So we're talking good ping, faster queue times, more fun matches. And quite honestly, one of the reasons I don't grind the camos every year is because nobody wants to do the ridiculous skill challenges against, you know, top 1% in the world every lobby. It's almost near impossible if you want to have fun with the game as well. But I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. Now, at least me and all my friends were loving this game mode, and we were just wondering, are they going to have like an Open Mosh Pit playlist? Because that's all anyone's going to play, at least in my opinion. And Call of Duty put out today saying at launch, open matchmaking, so with minimal skill consideration. Basically, bare minimum SBMM will be the default for Black Ops 7 multiplayer, which is honestly mind-blowing to me. Simply put, imagine matchmaking experience of the open mosh pit from the beta, but as standard in Black Ops 7 on day one. They also go through later and say that they're making changes to the aim assist as well, which is what I think a lot of people want. Shroud was basically saying mouse and keyboard players don't have a place in this game right now. I said, like, the very first day, the aim felt super sticky. The gunplay is already super easy. It's way less recoil. So hopefully that'll even it out for the majority of the player base. But here's where the problem is. They've made it apparent that Warzone's on the back burner. Zombies is probably right in the middle for priorities. And then multiplayer's pretty much their main priority this year. And I don't even think they care too much because the numbers for BF6 have already blown them out of the water. 29% of the players that played the Battlefield 6 beta did not return to Call of Duty, and that's a pretty large portion because most of the players that like the Battlefield, like atmosphere and all of that, basically they're not gonna like the futuristic Call of Duties. People saw the wall bounce already and are just assuming jetpacks and wall running, but it's really, in my opinion, not that overpowered. It's just a simple like bounce, but people like boots on the ground, and I'm definitely one of those guys that would prefer that. Now they can use this year's COD as basically a test, testing things out that the community actually wants, and they can listen and test it out. The problem is they're not going to have the right data because I don't think anyone's going to be playing this game this year. It's already failed before release, but maybe I could be wrong. Maybe, hopefully not, but maybe Battlefield 6 somehow drops the ball on all this. People end up buying the Call of Duty and liking it. Who knows? Who knows? I can tell you that I did have fun without the SBMM in this game, though. The first couple days, I could only play for maybe an hour to two, and that was like me forcing myself to so I could stream it. I was incredibly bored with this game. Now, the big problem here is Modern Warfare 4 is coming out next year. We already know this, and we know that they're resetting Warzone, they're resetting the engine. That's all they care about. That's their priority. So, do we think they're just going to do this and then revert it all back next year? I think it's very highly likely. It's something that, you know, their behavioral patterns have done in the past. I could definitely see it, especially because the studios don't really work together. They don't communicate together. For a while, on Modern Warfare 2, everybody didn't like that. Modern Warfare 3 came out. Sledgehammer made it an amazing game, in my opinion. One of the top Call of Duties, in my opinion, for real. It was so smooth. The gunplay was great. Yeah, but they still had to get some approval through Infinity Ward, and Infinity Ward didn't want it to be like that. So, you know, the studios kind of butt heads, and it could be a mess next year with what we get. We already know they're taking out, well, it's rumored that they're taking out Omni Movement completely. So it should be a whole different entire experience. But I guess time will tell.